I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, there's a mob shooting in Port Charles. Watch out. Laura, why are you running on a dock when guns are firing? Because you're going to get hit. Hey, thank you, everybody. Thank you. Welcome to the JH Report, everybody, breaking down all the latest shenanigans happening in Port Charles. I'm Frank Moran. I'm running solo today. Carla Renata, my co-host, she's on assignment. As we all know, she's incredibly popular, and deservedly so. So from time to time, things take her away from us. Nobody misses her more than I, but she'll be back here, fingers crossed, very soon, so we can catch back up on how we feel about GH. But in the meantime, because it is a solo show, figured why don't we do what we do best when it's just you and I here together. Open up the phone lines so we can have a little chat about all the things that you're loving or driving you crazy this past week here in General Hospital. So we'll open up the phone lines, and while we have waiting for you folks to call in, I'll start breaking down the week. But because, I'm not a smart man, I don't have a great memory, I cannot remember the phone number to give you folks. So I will call out to Vito.
We've got it in the chat, Frank. Hello, everybody. I am here. My name is Vito Scutti, and I am the producer today on the GH Report. And, Frank, we actually already have a caller.
Holy cow.
So I'm going to pick up this call. Hello, what's your name? You are now on the line with the GH Report with Frank. Hello? Oh, you still there?
I'm here.
Hello.
Oh, my word.
What's your name? Welcome to the GH Report.
It's Kelly from PEI.
Kelly, look at you just all over that phone. No wasting time this week.
Oh, hell no. It's one hell of a week.
Look at that. All right, so Kelly, what did you love or what was driving you crazy about this week?
Yes, I'm not crazy about mob wars, but hell, what a start back from a 2-week break.
No, that's true. I mean, it's been, 9 days since we've had an episode of General Hospital. So there have been a lot of complaints, but finally GH decided, hey, well, at least we'll put them online finally for people to watch them.
I don't mind the mob war. It's better than Baby Switch or anything else that was going on for the last year and a half.
Kelly, what I will tell you, though, is, and I guess it is a staple of soap operas, but when there is a big action sequence, the slow-mo aspects of it, you're like, oh, all right. Somebody's going to be running in slow motion. That always gets a little too much for me. Just like, just shoot it real time, guys. I'm fine.
Frank, if you could run in slow motion, would you?
I would. $6 Million Man, you give me that great bionic sound effect, I would absolutely run.
I'd rather you be the $6 million man than the bionic woman there, Frank.
So for sure, yeah. But we see, of course, nobody really gets hurt except for our beloved mayor, Laura Collins. She takes a bullet. Nothing too serious, though. I think
she's up and running.
Yeah.
Well, sort of.
Yeah,
she's alive.
Yeah, she needs those, the bionic woman sound effects there for the slow-moving, just recovering from a gunshot, Laura Collins. But yeah, I feel like if anything for Laura, though, Kelly, is see if you agree or not, that her getting shot in this mob violence is only going to fuel her desire to do this whole waterfront renovation.
Yeah, that's going to be behind it all. But who is running this? Who's running this shootout? Who knows?
Yeah,
it's a new person that's going to drive Jason and Sonny bonkers.
But yeah, which is fine. But I think anybody that's watched the show for any length of time kind of knows how these mob wars end up going. There's some new power player in town that Sonny and Jason have met their match, and then this person gets shuffled off after a while. So I don't know. I guess it's fine, but
this person could be connected to somebody from way back when too.
Which I wouldn't mind. It's always good when GH reaches back into its history for sure. But but so far, other than sending gunmen at 3 different locations this week to try to take out some people.
3.
Yeah.
3 locations.
I know, three. I mean, we got the warehouse, we got the dock, and then we've got Brooklyn. Yeah. So you got those gunmen being sent out there, and then we've got a coffee truck that's been burned. So, I mean, a big escalation.
That's the root of it all. Is the coffee truck that started it all.
Yeah. So, I do like, they didn't get the message with the coffee truck being burned. Let's just go right to assassins. That's what we need to do.
I'm still wondering what is so illegal that Jason and Sonny are trying to move. It's never been revealed.
No, well, I mean, we know it's not drugs. That much we know. So
it's not drugs, women, or drugs, guns, and women.
Yeah. So
or humans.
So if you take those things off the table, and then if you're like, it seems fine, whatever they're doing. Yeah, that's true. We'll never know, and I'm sure we'll never find out, because why? Because I'm sure the reality would be like, oh, that's it. Oh, all right, great.
Like Valentini may not even know. Who knows?
So Kelly, I appreciate you taking time not to call us, because I know the Super Bowl's on. No spoilers, because I'm recording this.
Who cares about the Super Bowl? All I wanted was the halftime show.
Oh, there you go. All right. I like it. Kelly, thank you for calling in. I hope the weather is warming up for you there in PEI.
We were supposed to have a humongous storm, but it petered off and went out to sea and heading for Newfoundland again.
Oh, well, that's good to hear.
Newfoundland got slammed last week with about 15 inches.
Oh, wow.
They're still digging it out after last weekend.
All right. Boy, Kelly, I am so sorry.
I'm not. It's not me.
Yeah, that's true. If I don't have to shovel, it's a good day.
Oh, heck no. We got enough snow around here without 15 inches. No, we did hit that a few years back. I don't want it again. Thank you.
All right. I understand. So, Kelly, before I let you go.
I'll let somebody else come on the line. So.
I love it. Kelly, thank you so much for calling in, and we'll talk to you soon.
There we go, Frank.
Vito, I know.
Yeah, what's up, Frank?
I mean, I think if you asked anybody around here about AfterBuzz, they would say, "Oh, Vito, he's such a great guy.
Oh, well, thank you.
So friendly, so gregarious, so helpful." But I also know, I mean, you mean business when it gets down to it.
Of course I mean business. Of course I'm trying to mean business.
I mean, I know when somebody crosses you, I assume first step is you burn their car.
Oh,
and then
definitely.
Next step is assassins?
I would say so. Oh, it sounds like we have another caller.
All right.
I will answer it with them on.
Yeah, right.
Hello and welcome to the AfterBuzz GH Report. What is your name? Where are you from? And welcome to the show.
Mike Nelle.
Mike, how are you, buddy?
Pretty good.
Love it. What are you liking? What is driving you crazy this week in General Hospital?
I don't know who's producing or who's writing or whatever, but this past week has been wow. I mean, yeah. Okay, now I can get rid of the baby switch and all the rest of the stuff, but the mob stuff, because I don't think it's a mob hit or it's mob takeover. I think it's something else.
Nice. I mean, that which I'd be down for if it's something that on the surface of it appears to be a mob hit, but there's something else underneath it. I'd be down for that.
Yeah, and I think people in the chat are saying that either Dustin and or Brando is part of it.
It was
along with the cousin.
I would agree.
Gladys.
Yeah. At first, I was agree with you there, Mike, as well as the people in the chat. I thought Gladys might have been up to something because there's no reason for her to be just kind of hanging around. And I thought, especially when she wanted to go check out the warehouse and she was so adamant about wanting to see the warehouse, I was figuring she was basically just playing everybody for a fool and she was really behind everything. But it feels like she was just kind of kept around to all of a sudden see her son Brando show up as the one that's protecting Carly out of nowhere at the Corinthos Coffee.
Yeah, and what's the name put her in office, so she was alone in there for Lord knows how long, doing Lord knows what.
Yes.
Taking files, implanting a virus or software. I mean, she could have done anything in that amount of time. Because how you gonna have a shootout? The gun's empty. You just go up and run. That was kind of weird. It was kind of strange. And they were shooting not at them, but above them, or you know what I'm saying? Just enough to pin them down. like I said, it was kind of weird. It was kind of weird.
It was some really poor shots for sure. And I mean, but also
Yeah.
I can't even like say, hey, Sonny's guys were great either because they they weren't doing so great at firing back. So I'm like, all right, guys, yeah, clearly not Sonny's top men.
Yeah.
Where's Max? Where's Milo when you need him? You've got the the B teams in here. But Mike,
Okay, so who do you think is the new villain?
I am torn. I mean, I would assume that it's got to have somebody that has some ties to GH's past. I mean, I know people keep talking about like an Alcazar possibly. I don't know. I mean, I think unless they're doing really good about keeping a Ted King reprisal under wraps, we haven't heard anything about him. So I'm going to say probably not to that. But what are you thinking, Mike?
Do you think that whoever is behind this have Hayden, and that's why she's not showing up? Or, I mean, do you guys have any news about her showing up anytime soon?
Man, I would love for her to come back. The sooner the better, because I feel like that needs to happen at least. Because it's tough to have just a kid who constantly asking for his mom and feel like, her mom, and you can't fulfill that for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't think it's any part of the actress Rebecca Budding. I think she would love to be back, but for whatever story reasons, perhaps they want her off canvas for a while. But I feel like she's got to come back.
Yeah, because I don't see Valentine behind this, and I don't see Nikolas.
Yeah.
Well.
No, that's
Nikolas,
true.
Maybe.
But
Nikolas could be behind this.
Nah, I feel like.
But I don't think he would put his mother in any type of danger.
No, I would agree with that. But it was interesting that Valentine had such a reaction to finding out that Laura had been shot. Comes to the hospital, tells Lulu to, just let her know that he's thinking of her, and even stops by for a hot second to just stand right outside of the curtained off area that she's in. So it seemed weird, like, why he did a drive-by like that. So, I mean, I could buy into Valentine being somehow connected to it.
Yeah.
But,
okay. All right.
Yeah. But
all
I
right,
will.
dude. That's all I have for now. I hope they keep this up. Because like I said, whoever is taking over or is doing this right now is doing a very good job.
No, I would agree. And one thing that you also mentioned is Dustin too, because we see Dustin come in at the docks and knocks over one of the gunmen that was shooting at Mike and Laura and Jocelyn. And and then he runs and he chases off the guy and he comes back only with a black eye to show for it. So I could see Dustin being possibly involved with this because, I mean, I feel like the black eye on the face is always the one of the things like, hey, I got to make him believe that I was trying to get you. So just punch me in the eye real quick before you go to give me a black eye. So I don't know. We don't know much about Dustin, so I could buy that maybe he's in this for some reason, of which we're to find out, and possibly the Lulu thing was a slow play, and now he's going to start falling for the person that he's supposed to be his into this life. Is he's just like, oh no, I'm falling for the woman that I was supposed to just be using. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking Dustin. I'm thinking Dell. I'm thinking, what's the cousin's name? Gladys. I want to see Gladys. That's not her. Is it Gladys?
Yeah.
Okay, Gladys and her son. They all came in, and attached to different parts of Sonny's family, at different times. It's kind of. Oh, okay. You know what? Okay, I'm not gonna speculate no more. I'm almost somebody else to get on here.
I love it, Mike. You came in here and you prognosticated, and that's all we can ask for.
Well, thank you very much for coming in.
Mike, enjoy the rest of your week, buddy.
Have a good one.
All right, you too. All right, bye.
Vito, I'm going to ask you real quick.
Yeah.
What do you think of the name Brando as a first name?
Brando, only if it's followed by the last name Brando, honestly.
So
Brando. That's what I'm looking for.
But if I was going to do that, I would just be Brando squared. That's what I
Brando
call
squared.
myself.
You would call yourself. So why don't you call yourself Frank?
I mean,
Frank squared.
That's not a bad idea. And I would write Frank with just the number 2, the square sign.
Yeah, Frank too. I mean, I think Brando as a first name. Do you think it's Italian? I think it's probably Italian.
Yeah, I feel like it's got some Italian kind of thing.
Yeah, I think so. But back to your first question, just real quick. The burning. So the way that I would do a hit, is that the question?
Yes. Do you go if you want to make it like, hey, let people know like, hey, I'm here and I mean business.
Okay. I would probably make a performance out of it. I think that's probably a good way to go with it. You want something that like a lot of people can like be like, whoa, that happened, whoa. But like, I don't know. It's not the age in which you can like shoot your name into a side of the wall and be like, I was here, Brando squared. You can't do that anymore because then people can track you on the internet because your handle's Brando squared.
No, that's true. I mean, if you want to go like the possibly non-lethal route, you can just do paintballs.
Yeah, absolutely. So here is another caller.
I love it.
Hello and welcome to the GH Report with Frank Moran. Say your name. Where are you from?
I'm from Boston, Massachusetts.
Boston, Massachusetts. We got a Bostonian
Whoa,
here.
look at that. First off, before we break down your thoughts about General Hospital, I'm just going to ask you real quick. Don't you think, Vito, look at that. I feel like I should just have him in my life just generally, just announcing me.
Oh, of course, Frank Moran. I'll be around you. Hello and welcome to the Frank Moran After Show. All for you, Frank.
Thank you, buddy.
But go right ahead.
All right, so what did you think of this weekend GH? What would you love? What drove you crazy?
I loved all of it. I love all of the mob wars. We haven't had it for a while, and I was just ready for something different to happen around. Hopefully, it'll spice things up because it's been needed.
Well, I mean, especially with Sonny. Sonny. I mean, he's been dealing with this Mike storyline for the longest time. A little bit with Dev, and when he went to Turkey to try to get Dante back. But I mean, there really hasn't been any business-specific stuff for Sonny for a long time. So I can see what you're saying. This is a nice kind of shot in the arm for that side of the show.
Yeah, I just needed something to like spice it up, and the whole like Michael thing situation. I just needed, something to push Nelle into doing something crazy.
I'm really curious to see how Nelle's going to be treated this time around because everybody, like, I mean, Jocelyn was even telling Michael, like, everybody knows how she operates now. So I feel like, I feel like Nelle can't run her old trick. She seems like she's trying to get underneath Carly's skin, but nobody's buying into it.
I don't think anyone's going to buy it, but I feel like she's going to do something crazy because she's in the house. She's going to be in the mix of things, and with the mob war, it's going to give her another incentive to make sure that the secret stays a secret. She's going to want her child to be, like, protected, and she's going to have the feeling like, oh, I was totally right not to give my child to Michael, otherwise they would be in this mess. And it's probably going to make Brad even more enforced to keep the secret because it actually reinforces everything that Nelle said about keeping Wiley safe from, the crazy Corinthos family.
Yeah, it's it is interesting to find out the big revelation we find out about Nelle is that we've got Michael E. Knight playing her lawyer, and which it's always great to see Michael E. Knight, but finding out that he's not really doing it for his purposes or to really help Nelle, he's doing it under the orders of Valentine.
I know, but I get that, but I don't get how Michael feels like he can control Nelle though. Because he's, like, to be perfectly honest, he's never done well with controlling her. He's gotten to a point, and then it always blows up in his face.
True. I did like Jocelyn calling him out on that. It's like the last time you tried to do that, you were in a car with her, it crashed, and you lost your unborn child.
I know. And, like, I like, the situation, I just wonder how long they're going to keep it a secret, because it's been so long since he hadn't had his child. I'm just like, I'm ready for the story to be over. It's kind of like with the whole Jason situation before everyone found out that Drew, that was Jason, is Jason. You know what I mean? Like, it took over a year before his identity came out, and I'm ready for Wiley's true identity to finally come out, because it's been a while. I'm ready for everyone to, like, blow up on Nelle, and especially Brad's part in it. Like, I'm ready for him to, like, get all the heat he deserves at this point.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know that we've got Lucas who's going to be coming out of his coma shortly. What do you think are the odds that Lucas remembers the whole conversation with Brad where he says, hey, Wiley's really not really Michael's son? Or does Lucas have amnesia, so we're going to be able to draw this out even longer until Lucas really remembers?
I feel like they always do the amnesia story. Like, I feel like that's always their first go-to, and, like, something's going to spark his memory or something. But I feel like that's the only way that they would go through it, because I feel like it's too soon for him to, like, wake up and, like, destroy Brad's world. Because I feel like he would definitely tell everyone, like, this is not our kid.
Yeah. That is really going to be interesting. I mean, because it is interesting that like GH will do some stuff very quickly, like Jason's reintroduction when Steve Burton came back. Jason got from Russia to Port Charles very quickly, which I was so happy for. But then you look at other things like this baby storyline, which is drawn out for so long. So it is interesting how GH can accelerate some things, but just drag out other stuff.
They do it all the time. I get it because it's always a cat and mouse to see how it's going to unfold. But I don't understand how they can do it as long as they did. And like even the fallout, it never seems as long as the actual storyline. And I'm like,
Yes.
Everybody's going to somehow become friends again or forgive or at least tolerate each other. So I'm just ready for it to be done. I need them to pick it up.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that's the hardest thing as a soap writer and producers is to ride that line of frustrating the wants of the audience, but not too long where they turn and they just get irritated and they turn against the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm also really excited about the whole Jace-Tam situation, though.
Oh.
Because I love them as a couple, but
Really?
I'm just wondering when they're ever going to have their time before something doesn't completely screw it up.
I have to disagree with you. I cannot stand Jason and Sam together. Oh, one of the worst things. I can't get into them at all. I can't. Thank you, Vito. What is one thing that you love about the Jason and Sam coupling?
I feel like they just complement each other so well. They're so similar and they've gone through so much and they always end up, it's kind of like the Carly and Sonny situation. Like, you know it's going to end up bad at some point, but they still seem to make it work and you still want them together at the end of the day. I don't know. I've loved them since like the beginning. When they got together, it was like around 2004 and I was like in high school. I watched them way before and like I loved their journey and when he left the show and then they came back and it took forever for them to become a couple after the whole Drew situation. I'm just like, I'm ready for them to at least try to be happy for like half a second before, you know, something comes up or another Shiloh shows up or something situation. But I'm ready for it.
I mean, maybe it's because Sam is always falling downstairs or into a hole, or she's been being put into a box. That just drives me crazy about that character. So it's like, I'm never on the side of rooting for those two to get together. I'm like, fine, keep them apart.
But like they always find some sort of like character that like if you look at all of the people that Jason has been with in the past, they've always been sort of been damsels in distress. Yeah. The only ones that seem to have fought back has been Sam for the most part.
I would agree with that, but the one thing that drives me crazy about Sam is that she spent this brief amount of time in prison and hated it, and hated being separated from her children, hated being separated with Jason, and then gets released on parole with one of the conditions being that she's got to stay away from Jason. And she's already saying, like, oh, let's just do some clandestine rendezvous. They'll never find out. Like, get out of here. Why would you even put that as a possibility?
Yeah, I thought that was really dumb because, like, I remember, like, a conversation with, like, Carly or something, and she was saying to, like, I think it was before they were together or some situation where she was telling Sam to think about the kids and, like, what she was supposed to do to make sure that, you know, she's there for them at the end of the day. And I kind of had a mixed feeling of her doing that because I kind of felt like she was picking Jason over her kids.
Yes.
And I didn't like that. I mean, I like that they're trying to get back together, but I don't like her sort of like brushing the law. You know, I know they're in a mob family and everything like that, but brushing the law and just like thinking I can do whatever I want until I figure out the truth and everything comes out. But I do agree with that.
All right. So Ed, before I let you go, I'll ask you one last thing. Give me a prediction about when you think a J-Sam reunion will happen. When is it this year? Is it early next year? When do you think?
A J-Sam reunion? I feel like it'll happen by the fall. I feel like everything should come out about the whole situation of who really what really happened with Shiloh and who his partner was. I feel like they're going to have to do it at some point, and I feel like that's probably going to be the best time because I think they're going to focus on all the mob war stuff and probably the Wiley stuff until like the middle of the summer, and then probably hopefully the GM situation will be all wrapped up by the fall.
All right. I will answer that as well, and mine is I hope it never happens.
Too much.
Thank you so much for calling in. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Yeah, enjoy your week. Enjoy the Super Bowl. So, Frank, I do just want to say real quick for our viewers and everybody there, if you like Frank being here and talking to you, remember to hit that like button here on YouTube because Frank likes you too, I think. Is that right, Frank?
I don't, I'm willing to commit a little bit more than that, Vito. I love them.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. But everybody, thank you for stopping by. Thanks for being here with me and Frank. And thanks for watching the GH Report. We're so happy to have you. Just make sure to hit that like button if you can.
And if you're on iTunes, give us 5 stars because we'd love 5-star rating right there. Yeah. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on social media. Vito's going to tell you where to follow him at the end of the show. And
thank you for giving me that chance.
Yeah. No. It's a chance for them.
You're right.
Yes. The opportunity awaits these fine viewers and listeners.
So much.
Yeah, absolutely. So Vito. I want to be honest.
Okay.
Vito.
Be honest with me.
Be honest. Are you in a relationship that has gone unrequited for some time?
I've been in a relationship, and I'm currently in a relationship. But there was a year in between that relationship being active and then active again.
Interesting. And do you feel any, you feel like in simpatico with these soap opera-esque characters that have to pine for whatever life reasons are coming in between you?
You know what? Pining is just a part of it. Frank? Frank, I feel like pining has been a part of a lot of my relationships, of just making sure that they get to the place where they are. I feel like everybody has to deal with the waiting of the time. And, I just, pining is a big part of it. Is pining a big part of the GH of the General Hospital?
Well, anytime you're going to set up a soap opera, you've got to have those stakes, and so you have two people that are attracted to each other, but for whatever reason can't act on those feelings in the moment. Yeah. For example, this week we had Jax and Nina, who just left Valentine at the altar after all his lies to her. Jax made his move and just gave her a smooch.
My gosh.
Yeah.
On the altar?
Not at the altar, at the office, because he's also kind of her boss, so to speak, which is kind of weird.
That is kind of weird. By the way, Frank, I did just want to shout out real quick everybody in the chat. We have Rena Sheen, Dolores Leach, we've got Rue Wood, we've got Susan Russo, Cherie R, Daisy Flower 40, Mary, and PEI Kelly. Kelly's still in there.
Look at that.
Thank you all for coming by. Thank you so much for giving us a chance.
Again, I know Kelly's shared her thoughts and opinions about the Super Bowl. And so I know she's not a huge fan, but I know many people are, and you're still taking the time to go like, hey, you know what? I'm going to duck into the GH report before I get back into the game. So we appreciate you taking any time to spend with us. Yes. Absolutely. I'm never going to forget you folks.
Yeah. And I'm never going to forget you, Frank, or any of these folks. They're so good.
Well, Vito, I feel like, after that outpouring of love to each other that we just had, as well as to these fine people in the chat, I feel like there's nothing better than to just close this out on a feeling of hope and promise for next week's GH report.
I think you're very much right, Frank. So why don't you take us out of this?
Vito, thank you so much for steering the ship so expertly.
Of course. That's what I'm here to try to do.
Thank all of you that have been watching right now or listening in, if you're listening in tomorrow, for being part of the GH Report. As Vito said, like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel, give us a like while you're there.
Yeah, just give us a like.
Yeah, but thanks so much for joining in. The show only works because you want to get involved, and so I appreciate everybody that took the opportunity to give us a call today and share their thoughts. But we'll be back next week with an all-new episode of the GH Report. But in the meantime, though, if you want to get a hold of us even after the show's over, if you want to get in touch with Vito to sing his praises, and you should, Vito,
thank you so much.
Where can they find you?
Guys, you can find me at Instagram or on Twitter at VScutti. That's at VSCUTTI. I admittedly do not watch General Hospital, but I will talk to you about it.
I love it. See, but you shoot from the hip, and that's what they want.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Folks, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HappyGoJackie. I should have got Frank squared.
You should get Frank squared.
I might have to change that social media handle, folks. Let me know. Should I change it to Frank squared, or do you like Happy Go Jackie? But folks, as I said, this is going to do it for this episode of the JH Report. We'll be back here next Sunday. It's Oscar Sunday. Fingers crossed Carla and her burgeoning media empire isn't pulled away from us again to do something on the actual award show. Because otherwise, I'd love to have her back here, and both of us will be breaking down an all-new episode. All new episodes of the General Hospital After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. See you next week.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.